Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV News and Sports for Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. I am Rochelle Baptiste with the details. As part of ongoing efforts to transform Kingstown into a first-class town, Superintendent of Police and Head of the Traffic Department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, Panel Brown, has announced a series of new traffic and parking arrangements aimed at improving vehicular flow and enhancing accessibility in the capital. Speaking during an interview on NBC Radio this morning, Superintendent Brown outlined several measures currently being implemented to ease congestion and support the city's modernization. One of the key changes involves rerouting access to both the Leeward bus terminal and the port, which will now share a common entrance at the agricultural building. According to Brown, this adjustment is intended to streamline entry and exit, reducing traffic bottlenecks in the surrounding areas.
Well, the immediate traffic changes to the traffic in Kingstown will take effect later this week. Now, you may not know, but you have been informed now. And I mentioned it on previous programs that entry to the new modern port facility, vehicles entering that facility will enter at Spirit Bar. For those of you who don't know where Spirit Bar is, there's on North River Road, the area where agricultural input warehouse is. That is the gap just on your right if you're facing the sea. So you'll enter at that intersection over on the reclamation site, and when you get there, you will see the arrows that will direct you as to which area of the port you can go. Also, that is also the main entrance to the public service transports that are going to use the Leeward bus terminal. Presently, the entrance to that bus terminal is the extension of Higginson Street across to where Gibson's Building Supplies is located. When the new traffic arrangement come into being, omnibus public service transport will no longer enter the bus terminal from that direction. They will enter from the same direction that the vehicles are entering to go on the port.
Superintendent Brown also highlighted major improvements along Bay Street, where a third traffic lane has been introduced. This additional lane is expected to ease the buildup of vehicles along one of the city's busiest corridors, allowing for smoother and more consistent traffic flow.
But also, there's an improvement on Bay Street in that there used to be 2 lanes of traffic with holding lanes. Holding lanes that can at least hold 2 or 3 vehicles for you to turn into quarries. However, that holding lane that was placed there do not presently applies to you going into quarries.
Mm-hmm.
That is made a separate lane for vehicles traveling downtown and want to come back around to Kingston. So there's a complete lane. It will take the traffic from the southern lane, some of the traffic from off the southern lane. So the traffic that on the southern side of Bay Street in the portion of road from Correys to Gibson's, you have a separate lane.
Right.
If you want to go to the Leeward side, or go down to the port, or go down to Input Warehouse, or go down to Randy's,
Milton Cato,
or Milton Cato, you occupy the southern lane on the portion of road between Correys and Gibson's. If you want to come back around town, like the omnibuses that exit Tokyo and wants to come back around town to Middle Street, you occupy the center lane as soon as you get into the area of Correys.
Right.
So the volume of traffic that one is anticipating will be there, and they will have traffic jam. We have somewhat try to alleviate that by putting 2 complete lanes. So from the area of Correys to Gibson's, there's a center lane that vehicles will now use if you want to come around back around or make a wrong
In response to the growing number of vehicles entering the city daily, Superintendent Brown announced that more parking spaces will soon be made available. The old Geese Port area is being repurposed to serve as a public parking lot, providing much needed relief in the city where parking is often limited.
Parallel parking along this street in that area. The portion of road to the side, just outside Correas, the same arrangement stays remains. But the present arrangement, vehicles are parking and they're backing up right up to the wall.
Right.
And pedestrians who have to use that portion of the sidewalk will have to come around the vehicles, somewhat exposing themselves into the road to danger. So we have alleviated that also because of the volume of pedestrian traffic we are expecting. We have also cleared that portion of the sidewalk to allow them to have easy access to where they are going to do their shopping or to clear whatever they are going to clear from the port. There will be increased parking at the old Geese. So persons who are wondering how they are going to get parking, the parking inside the old Geese area there, the Geese shed area, is extended to members of the public.
Okay.
I am not sure if it might require a small fine, a fee or something, but I mean, there's also adequate space in that location.
Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Professor Sir Hilary Bickles, is calling for a renewed and robust regional conversation on the Caribbean single market and economy, the CSME, and the free movement of people within the region. Speaking at a forum hosted today by the UWI's regional headquarters in Jamaica, Professor Bickles emphasized that the time has come to place the CSME firmly back on the regional agenda. The high-level discussion featured participation from 4 regional leaders, including Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves.
Understanding that economic integration is in the collective best interests. Recognizing that the coherence of political leadership will enable the survival of citizens. These objectives, these ideals, have been before us for many generations. We have made significant progress, let there be no doubt, but there are still internal contradictory forces and headwinds, many of them originating outside of this region, that continue to keep us divided, internally competitive, and without a common vision. This forum is designed and structured to interrogate this circumstance. There are many intellectuals within this region who have long said that this is self-divisive, it is diminishing of the collective will of the people, and it has no coherent future.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines is one of 4 CARICOM countries who signed on to the Enhanced Cooperation Protocol that allows for the full free movement of nationals under the CSME framework. Dr. Ralph Gonsalves reiterated his support for deeper regional integration and urged other CARICOM member states to adopt similar positions.
And the children, because if you don't have the requisite bundle of contingent rights, you're going to have limitations in the freedom of movement. In a large strategic sense, countries which are trying to limit the extent of the freedom of movement, either by not signing on to what we did on October the 1st, or putting a brake on the full menu of contingent rights. I think that they're making a mistake because they're not understanding that all of us, we have a problem with particular levels of skills and even ordinary labor, because we have a difficulty in the demographics in our respective countries.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Gonzalez also raised concerns about ongoing cross-border payment challenges, specifically referencing trade issues with Trinidad and Tobago. He noted that the situation remains unresolved and continues to hinder the efficiency of regional trade.
We have tried to work with the various central banks. Ours in the OECD, in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, Trinidad and Tobago, is a nightmare, and we haven't gotten anywhere. And that is why there's been a bottoming out of trade between Trinidad, St. Vincent and Grenadines, and Trinidad in respect of the currency payments. With Barbados, it's easier because they put aside the sufficiency of foreign exchange to deal with this matter. I've never been able to understand that in Trinidad and Tobago, you can get foreign exchange to buy camembert cheese. You can get it to buy luxury items. You can even pay cartel, reportedly $900,000 to come to Trinidad to perform as a deposit. But you can't pay me in US dollars for my yams, dasheen, tanyas, sweet potatoes. It's absolutely ridiculous.
The forum comes at a time when many regional leaders and institutions are revisiting the vision and implementation of CSME as a path to stronger Caribbean unity, development, and resilience in a changing global environment. In other local news now, we heard that Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Camila Gonzalez, has underscored the critical role of the Prime Ministerial Youth Advisory Council, describing it as a vital platform for empowering young people and shaping the future of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking at the recently held Youth Summit hosted by the Council, Minister Gonzalez reiterated the government's commitment to investing in the nation's youth, noting that such investments represent the safest bet for the country's long-term prosperity.
One of the most important things, in my view, that the government has done in the last 5 years is to support young people in creating this Youth Advisory Council. And one of the most important developments from that is the extent to which the Youth Advisory Council has grabbed that opportunity and created a powerful force for change and transformation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and for recognition and celebration of the excellence of the young people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you all have done a magnificent job in getting.
He was speaking at the Youth Awards ceremony and not the Youth Summit. Established in 2020, the Prime Ministerial Youth Advisory Council was designed to give young Vincentians a direct voice in policy making. The council comprises youth representatives from across the country who advise the Prime Minister on issues affecting young people and propose solutions aligned with national development goals. Minister Gonzalez emphasized that the council has become a driving force in shaping policies that promote innovation, civic engagement, and youth leadership.
The Youth Advisory Council, as Randy was laying out, that has shaped countless policies and responses and initiatives of the government since it's been created. The Youth Advisory Council has helped shape our response to natural disasters. It has helped to highlight the importance of housing and the issues of affordability of housing. It has helped to create new, fresh opportunities for sporting pursuits. It has helped to strengthen the government's support for the creative and cultural industries. It has inspired the construction of cultural and productive and artistic hubs that will be built in the northeast and northwest of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Gonzalez also used the occasion to highlight several government initiatives aimed at youth development, including access to higher education through expanded scholarships, technical and vocational training programs, and support for young entrepreneurs through the Promoting Youth Micro Enterprises initiative. The finance minister reaffirmed the government's pledge to keep young people at the center of SVG's national development agenda.
The future is not a distant thing. The future is not something that's going to happen in 10 years or 20 years or 15 years. The future is now. And the time for young people to seize the opportunities that are being presented is now. And the people in this room, the people under this tent, have shown that they have the capacity, the innovation, the initiative, the will, the drive, the work ethic to seize opportunities and make the best of them and project their excellence throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines and across the world. And that's what owning the future is about. It's about having a partner in the government that will help to create opportunities for you. But it is about you taking those opportunities and taking them to levels and heights that us old people in the government couldn't imagine.
And as part of this year's independence celebration, special attention is being given to one of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' most treasured national symbols, the Vinci parrot, also known as the Amazona gildingi. This vibrant and rare bird is not only the national bird of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but also the inspiration behind the colors of the national flag. During the Cannabis Festival, which forms part of the wider independence activities, the country's rich wildlife was on display, courtesy of the Nicholas Wildlife Complex. Among the exhibits, the Amazona gildingi stood out as a symbol of national pride and environmental importance. Hazelene Ellis, a technical assistant at the Botanical Gardens and a long-time caretaker of the Amazona gildingi, spoke passionately about the bird's significance.
National bird, this is our flagship species. This is, when we say flagship, is where we get the national flag from. The colors, the blue, yellow and green. Yes, they are very important birds because it is our national bird. It represents us. So because of that representation, it have a significance. Yes.
Ellis, who has spent years working to protect the parrots and other native species, emphasized the importance of wildlife conservation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The program that we have at Nichols Wildlife Complex is due to the fact that it is far mountainous. A lot of people can't reach there, and we try our best to actually have them there so that, you know, those who can't get there could also get there. And also in the future, if anything's supposed to happen, maybe a natural disaster, that we always have something to show to the future generation.
The Vinci parrot remains a symbol of national pride, resilience and ecological beauty, and a fitting highlight for this year's independence celebrations. Welcome back. Member of Parliament for West St. George, Curtis King, says the government has delivered on the promises made to the constituents over the past 5 years during his tenure as their representative. King, a retired educator and historian, highlighted several key projects that have been executed in the constituency, including the Spot Development Project and the regularization of housing in a section of the Queen's Drive housing development.
One of the first things I did when I got into office was to make sure that cabinet offer to the residents of Upper Queen's Drive the lands that they have been living on, some of them for over 30 years, at a price of 50 cents. In Queen's Drive, 50 cents per square foot. Secondly, that spa that we talk about forever and wanting to do something about it. The second thing I did was to deliver a project that moved this spa from a heritage site to a community integrated project with opportunities for small business.
And King further emphasized the upgrade of the West St. George Secondary School, a project he personally advocated for, given his history as a former teacher at the institution.
Deliver a project at the West St. George Secondary School that built on the efforts of that school in terms of what they were doing in agriculture. You know what we did up there? We introduced, by retrofitting classrooms, by getting the monies to purchase the necessary equipment, to put in place a food preparation laboratory. We have to ensure that we provide our young people with the skills that are necessary as we expand our tourism product. But more than that, that lab will not only be catering for students, it will also be catering for young people and others.
In addition to educational upgrades, King highlighted other major developments in the constituency, including the commencement of work on the acute referral hospital in Annesville, the installation of lights at the Annesville playing field, upgrades to the Belair Health Clinic. King also shared plans for the continued development of the constituency, stating that in the coming years, focus will be placed on upgrading sporting facilities in various communities across West St. George. And the opposition New Democratic Party candidate for Central Leeward, Conroy Huggins, has reaffirmed his commitment to rebuilding and revitalizing the constituency with a focus on economic growth, community development, and sustainable progress. Speaking at a meeting held in Leeward last Saturday night, Huggins outlined his vision for restoring Central Leeward to a state of prosperity, stating that the area has untapped potential that with the right leadership can be fully realized.
My vision for Central Leeward, which I refer to as Vision Central Leeward 2025-2035, a 10-year plan to rebuild, restore, and put Central Leeward back into a position where we can accumulate wealth and growth and economic development. At that presentation, I outlined my plans. And in my plans,
one of the key issues highlighted during his address was the Leeward police station, which Huggins said has been neglected for over 25 years. He pledged to prioritize its rehabilitation, ensuring that law enforcement officers have a safe, well-maintained facility from which to serve and protect the community.
About what? Maybe 100 feet from where I'm standing here is the Leeward police station. The Leeward police station, the very officers in there, they tell you how it is nasty and filthy. After 25 years of this administration, that police station is in a deplorable, dilapidated condition. And we in Leeward would still come forward and go tell me that we're going to ball 6 in a row. Where is the consciousness of our people?
Huggins also revealed plans for the demolition and reconstruction of the Leeward Wharf, describing it as a necessary upgrade to better serve the needs of local fishermen, business owners, and residents.
All right, just from the police station is a wharf right there, so a jetty. That was constructed under the NDP administration during the first period of the NDP government by Sir Herbert Young. In 25 years, no form of maintenance. When I brought it to Brother Cummins' attention, he said to me, Brother Huggins, we cannot do anything on this, but we'll have to take it out and we have to rebuild it. So, for the fishers in Leeward, I am letting you know, we will rebuild that wharf, we will extend it, and we will give it an L so that your boats could be docked inside to protect you from the storms.
He encouraged residents to work together for the common good and to embrace the opportunity to bring meaningful and lasting change to Central Leeward. And the Unity Labour Party candidate for West Kingston, Kiesel Peters, has outlined a vision for transforming the constituency as she prepares to challenge incumbent Member of Parliament Daniel Cummins of the New Democratic Party. Speaking at the ULP's rally in Calico on Sunday night, Peters declared her readiness to bring fresh leadership and meaningful development to West Kingston. She criticized her opponent's record, stating that Cummins has failed to deliver tangible progress for the people of the constituency.
Step into the future as we transform the constituency of West Kingston. Step into the future as we transform the beachfront of Edinburgh. Step into the future as we create a modern business complex in Camden Park. Step forward to the future where the fisher folk from Rose Place and Lomans Bay can host their seafood festival. Listen to me. I have innovative ideas for the constituency of West Kingston. But what we have is a representative who has been there for 15 years. And at the start of every meeting, Prime Minister, you know what he does? He has to invoke the spirit of John Hahn of blessed memory. After 15 years, you have to rely on the name John Hahn. What kind of necromancy is this? That is nonsense.
Peters, who is contesting her first general election, made a direct appeal to young voters, urging them to take charge of their future by supporting the ULP. In her remarks, Peters also addressed the generational gap between herself and her opponent, suggesting that after 15 years in office, Cummings has become disconnected from the needs and aspirations of the younger population.
You have nothing to offer the young people of West Kingston. Young people of West Kingston doesn't even want to be seen with Daniel Cummings. But the young people of West Kingston know that West Kingston is rising. And we are coming for West Kingston. Comrades, I know that times have been difficult. Since the pandemic, we have had natural disasters, and this administration has put safety nets in place to make sure that our people are taken care of.
Cummings is seeking a third term as representative for West Kingston. His seat he has held since 2010. Peters is aiming to unseat him in the upcoming general elections.